Greetings, my fellow retail investors, Bloomberg terminal junkies, and flopped mutual fund pushers. In case you have been living under a rock since the beginning of April, there has been a big Bitcoin storm due to a member of the Reddit community and Questrade. In further drama, as this has progressed over the last few days, even the Toronto Metropolitan Police have gotten involved. Now note, by no means does Bitcoin have anything to do with the issue here. I only use that terminology to bypass YouTube's filter, just like how I will try not to mention anything to do with that virus, which shall not be named, during this pandemic. The protagonist, or victim, of our story goes by the Reddit name of Hasbs, or is it Hasps? I don't know, but after looking at it for a minute, isn't that name really HasBS? And I'm sure from many of the comments I have seen as of late, many believe he is full of it. However, do keep in mind that this pandemic we are all in right now, which shall not be named, is part of the reason why this Bitcoin storm all started between Mr. BS and his growing vendetta against Questrade. So, what is the main issue at par here? Well, Mr. BS is a options trader, and as any rookie knows, there is a lot of risk that can come into play here. Often your losses can go to zero, or even infinite for that matter. Yep, that's right. Sometimes infinite losses when the market goes against you. However, this does not seem to prevent retail investors and even risky hedge funds like optionsellers.com, for example, at times from trying to play the game of picking up nickels in front of a steamroller. And don't forget, kids, watch out for them rogue waves that'll capsize your boat. Not everyone can manage to navigate through them rogue waves. While picking up nickels may bring in a little bit of extra income now and then, when it works, the problem is this works every time but once. Then the poor retail investor is left with nothing but debts, and in the latter case, hedge fund blows up and the original investors could still be on the hook for debts after someone did not recoup enough liquidation at the end of the margin call. Enough said on that sad topic for now, which we can happily come back to these sad stories another happy day. Now, to get into what kind of options trades happen here, I'll quote verbatim from Mr. BS. I had a 0 DTE options position worth around 50,000 Canadian that I opened that day. My broker Questrade had serious outages for hours that day and for 3 days in the previous week, leaving many clients unable to access their positions. My position expired worthless and I was obviously very upset that I couldn't access such a volatile position for multiple hours. Now, for those not in the know, DTE stands for days to expiration. So, 0 DTE means that this poor guy was at 0 days till expiration of his options. To further add insult to injury, Mr. BS also claims that he lost $10,000 the previous week due to a similar issue. Apparently, he asked the representative back then for $200 in compensation. Honestly, that's what, 2% of lost capital, my friend? Well, that's where the BS started to hit the fan between Mr. BS and Questrade. To make a longer story short, at one point, Mr. BS was offered a $1,200 compensation. He declined this, claiming that this past month, his commissions were around $350. In addition, he tells us that he would have to sign a non-disclosure act. Apparently, after raising a lot of negativity all over Reddit, including the official Questrade group, they requested negative comments to be deleted. And so we come to this letter. The releaser further agrees to do the following. A. Immediately refrain from making or posting negative comments about Questrade. And B. within 2 days of blah, blah, blah. No admission whatsoever of liability of wrongdoing on the part of the blah, blah, blah. But, as I said, Mr. BS declined this offer. Since then, he began to pour more fuel onto the fire. Now, let me pause here to remind people that Mr. BS is a known member of the infamous WallStreetBets group on Reddit. While I do not wish to point fingers or make any accusations, the fact is, this alone can be looked at negatively toward the poor soul. At least this has been joked around by many others. Not a member of this group? Well, that may be a good thing. WallStreetBets has been the home of many self-made millionaires by gambling on Wall Street. It has also been the road to ruin of many millennials as of late, with people betting their entire inheritance, student loans, and first newborns on high-risk option trade gambles. To be honest, it's also known for its attraction to the most of degenerates, trying to make it, fake it, and break it on Wall Street. You know those videos of kids exploiting the unlimited margin bug on Robinhood and recording themselves going broke for life? Yep, you've seen it on WallStreetBets first, the main attraction group to the most degenerate investors, traders, and Special Olympic candidates. That said, our situation for Mr. BS has been dropping deeper into the red, as technical analysis on Questrade's end indicates that he was connected multiple times over the period in question. Uh-oh. And, well, why don't I just quote it verbatim here? Oh wait, you probably cannot read this, and I do apologize, but this poor excuse of an image is the only evidence I have left of the statements. No worries though, as this is nothing some Jack Daniels cannot fix, so take a few shots here and this will start to make some sense. Blah, blah, blah. Your login details show that you logged in at 11:03 a.m. and were online for most of the day on March 23rd, 2020. We enclose your activity logs, login details, blah, 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 all connected. You made the following trades on March 23rd, 2020. Case 1. Blah, blah, purchased at 12:15 p.m. approx. 70 contracts at 2:50 expiration in approximately 4 hours. Sold 70 contracts 3 minutes before 4 p.m. resulting in a $16,943.91 USD loss. Case 2. Blah blah purchased at 12:23 p.m. approx. 103 contracts at 121 average expiration in approximately 4 hours. Sold 103 contracts 6 minutes before 4 p.m. resulting in a $12,298.86 USD loss. Questrade did not experience any technical issues after 11 a.m. on March 23rd, 2020. We also know that you were online during most of the day and had opportunities to mitigate your losses, but failed to do so. You also chose a high-risk strategy to invest 30,000 USD in options expiring in 4 hours. Lastly, here is the activity of your securities on March 23rd, 2020. This table shows that your position spiked around 3:30 p.m. that day. You chose to wait until the last couple of minutes in the hopes of getting a more favorable price. The market turned against you, and you incurred a loss as a result of your trading strategy. Since you are continuing your campaign to malign and defame Questrade by posting inaccurate and inflammatory information on social media, you leave us no alternative other than to initiate legal action. To summarize, The facts clearly demonstrate that the losses you incurred were due to your trades when our platforms were fully operational. Do you give us express consent to post your trade details so that we can clarify and properly respond to your Reddit comments and social media posts with the above information? As for the raging battle between these two, the little threats about legal issues and non-disclosure issues and screw you issues has now blown so out of proportion that Questrade has had to get the police involved. Mr. BS, yours truly had to answer to no other than our happy Toronto Metropolitan Police. How did things get so bad? As I no longer have access to the purged posts on Reddit, I will have to paraphrase from memory here. There was something to do with the fact that Mr. BS made some threats to the point of pouring gasoline over the broker and burning the place down. The funny thing is, Questrade reps ended up taking a little offense to this. You think? Well, gee, I don't know. I mean, I thought that it would be totally acceptable when trying to break in a relation with my neighbors next door by using gasoline on their porch would be met with a great starting relationship, for example. If not before the flammable liquid was lit, maybe after? But nope. The politically correct group just have to be offended at anything. It has come to the point in our current generation that you can't even dump gasoline on someone's head and they are already panicking about your passive-aggressive passive aggressions. Yeah, I know. Shocking, isn't it? Attention, stop the press. After finishing this documentary, all evidence to this battle has vanished. Trying to go back to get more details on this is difficult as Questrade has processed a DMCA on Reddit regarding this case and anything else pertaining to it in any shape, form, matter, or BS. And believe me, all the Bitcoin around this has been ninja wiped faster than you can even wipe your own. Hell, I knew something was up when posts were getting sniped from Questrade's own group on Reddit. Well, that's certainly one way to guarantee that they'll show up in their own group, alright. So, for those of you who give what my thoughts are on this, who's right or who's wrong, given the choice between our protagonist and Questrade, I'm going to have to side with Questrade on this. Mr. BS, you are full of BS. That said, my friend, if I am wrong, then I'm sorry, mate. I will confess that there has been a lot of lag as of late, partly due to everyone at home using the internet during this pandemic and all the stock market volatility that's been happening. We've all seen what happened with Robinhood getting overwhelmed just recently. Hell, other brokers were running into lag as well. There have been rumors that even the Toronto Stock Exchange became lag itself. Now, I'm not quite sure I'm going to believe that just yet, but I do remember something eerily similar during the flash crash of 2010. But hell, it's, not just brokers who have been delayed, even banks have had their issues right now. I won't mention any names, but I know I wasn't the only one facing this blue screen when trying to fund WallStreetBets. Again, I'm not mentioning any names to out any banksters here, am I? Now, yes, there has been some glitches with Questrade. I've noticed the missing candle issue, which engineering did specifically say they fixed, and they did in fact do so. And yes, I am open to the fact that there have been some latency issues on Questrades, and that may not have been due to just your home internet or Wi-Fi. That said, this story has had many twists and turns. And sometimes, not only am I confused at what Mr. BS was trying to claim, or the public has been confused, I think that even Mr. BS has been confused at what may be his own BS. But alas, let us give him the benefit of a BS. And now that we've dispensed with the BS, I'll leave you all with the final 2 comments left on Reddit before the Great Purge was activated.
Bud, I'm really confused about what you are actually trying to pull. I've read hundreds of articles and tens of books on options and investing. In every single book, they discuss after-hours risk on expiring options. You aren't the first and you aren't the last. People legitimately have to buy your options on the other side, and unfortunately there wasn't enough time to get a fill. I tried reading your post to understand if Questrade actually did something wrong. It seems like if you replaced "I'm an idiot" and with the word Questrade in all your posts, it would sum up the issues.
As a retarded man, I applaud you. Send them a dick pic. It will be a symbol of dominance. Scare the out of them.